We are taking so much gunfire in our perimeter. There are members of the Taliban running through our base, literally shooting at U.S. soldiers. Yeah.
And you got a call from your wife.
My phone rang. I said, hello. She said, babe. I said, hey, what's up, mama? She said, your mom just passed.
This is a story about people, but more importantly, this is a story about a kid who had every opportunity to make a bad decision that could have sent his life in a way different direction than what he did, and yet he still achieved success today. We are joined by Renford Ligon.
How you doing today, Dave?
You know, I've done 18 episodes in less than 10 months for the David Johnson Show. And you want to know what keeps me up at night?
It's amazing. What?
The intro. I never know how to intro somebody.
Okay.
And you have been keeping me up on how to intro you, because I don't do intros and I never know what to say. So it hit me last night when I was laying in bed. I'm like, okay, if this guy was a series on Amazon and he had 15 episodes, you just have to start at episode 1. There's no other place to start. Take me back to episode 1 when you were a boy. Where were you at? What were you doing? Because I feel if people don't understand your childhood, there's no way we could have this conversation.
Okay, yeah. So episode 1. That's good. That's good. So I actually was born Pottstown, Pennsylvania. I went from Pottstown, Pennsylvania to Ohio, where my family is for the most part. We were in Ohio for about a year, so I'm a little bitty kid, obviously not really remembering much of that. We pushed out to Los Angeles, California. So I did my elementary school years in L.A., growing up on Hoover Street.
Okay.
And after that, after Hoover, we ended up moving back to Ohio. During the time, like living in LA, family tragedy, things changed and stuff like that. So
you went to, or your early childhood schooling was in LA?
Correct.
Like kindergarten, first grade.
Second, third grade.
And we've had a few comments. That was not easy. What was going on in your life at that point in time, though?
Well, because like my parents, my mom, my stepdad, they had a bad plan. Period. So we leave Ohio, and we show up to L.A. and we get out there with no job, no plan, obviously. But at the time I'm 5, 6. I don't know. I'm a kid, so we get out to L.A. and I didn't realize at the time that this was odd because we lived in a conversion van, so it was kind of cool to us. We were kind of like on.
Did you find the van in L.A.?
Well, no, we drove from Ohio.
In this van?
In the same van.
And then you were living in this van in Los Angeles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we moved into that van, which, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize we were moving into a van when we left Ohio.
Oh.
We get all the way to L.A. Mom enrolled us in school, right away. I'm in the kindergarten. She enrolled us in school, and every day, myself, my sister, and my brother, and my stepdad and my mom, we get up, we were parked at a truck stop. So it was convenient because we just showered the truck stop. We had all that, and
wow.
So it was for me. I didn't see it as odd that the other kids couldn't live wherever they wanted to. See, but I had a house that could always be anywhere.
You had a house that was mobile.
We had a house on the beach,
and that was normal. That was normal to you,
right? So when we would go to Long Beach, we take the van. So we pull up in the van at Long Beach. We just spend the day on the beach, and it was like our house was there because all our stuff was with us at all times, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, we do laundry together, we used to go grocery shopping and all that, man. Like my sister, my younger brother, my baby brother, Chucky, rest in peace to Chuck. So, that was, 5, 6 years old? 7, it was exciting.
Wow.
I didn't realize I was homeless. You know what I mean? It never dawned on me that I was homeless. because I wasn't sleeping in the rain, you know.
Right.
But yeah, the one thing that we hated though, the bucket, man. You got to clean the bucket, the honey pot. See, because we had a bathroom in there too, so
The bucket was the bathroom.
the bucket was the bathroom, sir.
Okay, so
It was a conversion van.
It was
so
a conversion van.
It was a
you had the
little
bucket.
wood. He put a wood top on it, and you know, so you raise the wood top up. So when
Oh,
you
you had a
to do
wood
number
top.
one
I was not aware of that. So okay, it was.
He
It was
made.
little-
I
it
mean,
was-
granted, I guess my stepdad
And
was
you had-
a little. He was an engineer or something. I guess he
Wow.
screwdriver. He wasn't an engineer.
All right, so keep going down this path. You're in Los Angeles, kindergarten,
right.
first grade. You're
Mhm.
living in this conversion van.
Yeah.
What was the next? What was the progression of that?
Mom scores a job. She scores a job out at Rancho Las Amigas, something like that. Like, you know, one of the hospitals out there. She was a nurse. You know, she scored a gig, so we was able to find lodging. You know, so that's when we moved on Hoover Street. You know, so growing up on Hoover, as a child, you know, we still a child. We didn't realize that Hoover Crips was a thing, because you got to think this is the '70s. I mean, I'm 47 years old. You feel me? So the timeline when this was actually happening
Okay.
was the '70s. So that was just Pancho and Ray, and you know, I didn't think that these are gonna grow up to be notorious gangsters.
And this is the environment you're growing
It's
up
our
in.
neighborhood, yeah, and the neighborhood took care of itself though. It was solid. We never had no outsiders in our neighborhood, and I didn't realize that either.
And this was all again just normal to you at this point.
It was normal. It was normal. I
Mhm.
mean, that's like we would have members of the Crips would come by because we had a kumquat tree in the backyard. So kumquat is a fruit that I've only seen in LA. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's probably grows somewhere else, but we had a kumquat tree in the backyard, man. So what the Crips would do, the homies would just come through and be in the backyard and just hanging out. Like we was the patrol base for veterans. You know what I mean? Like a military patrol
And
base.
he said they took care of you. Felt safe there.
Absolutely.
You felt safe.
Our house was the safest house in the neighborhood, bro. Like we slept with our doors open. It didn't matter. You know, we got Crips in the backyard. Who gonna bother us?
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
so once again, not odd. It's just, you know,
Normal.
the community taking care of the community, man.
And then when did you move back to Dayton? Because that's where you kind of grow up your more formative years, would you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Tragedy to triumph. My little brother, you know what I mean, rest in peace, was hit by a car in Los Angeles. That's what constituted our move to Ohio. So so it was like this. It was like, okay, boom, we in Ohio. You go to school one day, you come home from school, hey, your little brother got hit by a car. I was like, okay, I done been hit by a car. That ain't nothing. But not realizing the severity of it, the doctors was like, hey, you know, this little kid ain't gonna make it. You know, he was really busted up.
And how old were you at that time? I'm sorry.
How old are you in the third grade?
Okay, oh, that's fine. Third grade.
Yeah.
I don't
third
know that
grade.
stuff.
Yeah. So when I get back, you know what I mean, I'm in
Maybe
Ohio.
10 or 11.
Right. I'm still a kid.
Right, okay.
You know, I'm like 11.
Yeah.
I'm like 11. We go to Ohio, like the docs in LA was like, yeah, we can't do nothing else for him. Because he was in a coma for 7 months.
Oh.
You know what I mean? So it's like one day, my little brother is my best friend. We playing in the yard together, and like I never ran with him again from that. You feel me? So, you know, I was like the last time playing football with my brother was the last time playing football.
Ugh.
So yeah. No, so
moving back to Dayton because of your brother, you had a family there or a support system
yeah,
there?
Yeah. My grandparents were there, and right there in Dayton is where the majority of our family has been buried. So since my little brother was gonna die, Mom was like, well, he's gonna die, so let's just pack it up. Another great abrupt move, because this time, even better, we drove back in the VW Bug.
You traded in the conversion van?
Trade a van for a Bug, baby.
And everybody fit?
And we bigger now.
Yeah.
No, but not everybody did. Everybody didn't have to go, because now actually my Uncle Marshall, shout out to Uncle Marshall, man. Uncle Marshall came in. What's funny is like the very first time I ever met my Uncle Marshall with like eyes that I could comprehend, he came to school and he was like, Renford, come here. And I looked at him and I said, this man looks like my grandfather, but I don't know him. And then I saw my mom's white Beetle, 73 Beetle. I saw the Beetle, the love bug. And I was like, well, this dude got my mom's car. He's like, Renford, come here. Something's happened to your little brother. I'd never seen Uncle Marshall, but when that happened, like he showed up. Family, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a dope family.
So what was the vibe like moving back to Dayton?
Think about like Can you imagine sitting around waiting on somebody to die?
No.
Right.
And a family member.
That's kind of where we was at. Like we going to the hospital, and my little brother in the coma, and we just like, is he still alive today?
How did he get back to Dayton? Fly or
They flew him.
Okay,
Yeah. They did the life flight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From L.A. to Dayton, Ohio.
Then
you know
you guys
they
all drove
and they,
back.
yeah, Children's
Yeah.
Medical Center. He checked right in, and the man, the Power and Family is like, I think that all the love that we had in Dayton, Ohio, and coming to the hospital and all that, because when we was in L.A., it was just us at the hospital.
Right. You need that support system.
Came back to the support system, and like they basically prayed him out of a coma. I'm gonna tell you. Like,
energy.
Oh yeah, they prayed him out of a coma.
That's real.
Man. Yeah, that's real. That's a real thing, man. They prayed him out of a coma. My grandma, the spirits, oh baby, prayed him out. I said, man, next thing I know, I'm coming out of school, and I'm like, probably now about 11, 12, something like that, and it was like, Chucky's awake, and I'm like this. I told y'all. See, but I thought he was gonna be able to make a full recovery. That never happened. That never happened. But
we'll get back to your brother. So you're now in Dayton. You're going to school. Where are you guys living at? What are you doing? Back with family? Was it good?
Yeah, no. Back living with family was great. And so what Mom did, you know, shout out to my mom. She thought it'd be a good idea to get us back there and move us into projects.
Yeah.
My mom got some great plans. So if you ever been to projects, one thing that they used to do back in the day, the floors are tile. So they're cold. When you don't have furniture, the floor is cold, man.
What was the crowd you were hanging out with back then? Making friends? Is it your neighbors? What do you guys do?
Yeah, pretty much in the projects, is everybody. You know, you come in and you got to get beat up by the bully first. That's just what it is. Like, you know what I mean? We came in.
You got to get jumped back into the projects.
Yeah. I got beat up by the bully. My sister beat the bully up and then beat the bully's sister up. That part. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. So welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back. So we back in Dayton, Ohio. And and once again, we're there. We're still young kids. But throughout my youth, we rode a lot of city buses. So when I was like in the 5th grade, 5th graders were tripping because I knew the bus routes in Dayton, Ohio.
Well, didn't you ride the bus to school in L.A. too?
We just had to ride 3 buses to the school in L.A. because where we lived at and where I went to school at was so far.
Just you and your sister?
Yeah, me and my sister.
Why was it so far?
Well, just because our neighborhood was Hoover.
You wanted to go to a different...
Mom was like, hey, if I get my children in a better school, not so much better school, maybe less crime written, things of that nature. Like, our street is bad enough.
So in kindergarten, you and your sister are riding 3 buses just to get to school?
Yes. My sister's 5 years older than me, so she was good.
Okay, she was a chaperone.
Yeah, she was. I think she was in 2nd grade, 3rd grade.
All right, so now you're in Dayton, Ohio again, riding a bus to school.
Yeah, I'm riding a bus to school. Nothing. Like, it's no thing. So, a nomad, man. You feel me? I'm a nomad.
And everything is still just normal to you. This is normal life.
Nothing is shocking to me. Everybody sleeps on the floor, man.
At that, at that time, did you have an understanding of I mean, you've traveled the world a lot. We're going to get into that. But did you have an understanding at that age of the outside world? Or even, because, I mean, you did travel to L.A. a little bit, but did you have any kind of understanding of a greater world out there and everything like that? You're just so in your own zone.
When you in the projects, you don't see outside the projects, like, because those other things are really not attainable to you. You know, you want to stay as safe as you can, so therefore other neighborhoods don't provide you the same safety like the projects do. Because, like, what project are you from? It's like, well, we was in Parkside Homes. Well, if you live in Parkside Homes, you ain't gonna go kick it in DeSoto Bass, because the DeSoto Bass dudes don't really get down with the Parkside Homes. What's wild though is, like, in LA they got gangs, right? Ohio is neighborhoods. So ain't no gangs. Like, we don't have no blood crip issue.
You feel safe in your neighborhood?
Everybody out here throw hands, man. Like, yeah, in your neighborhood.
You felt safe.
Yeah, you feel safe.
What are people doing in the neighborhood? There's a lot of crime and
poverty is crime.
Poverty is crime.
Poverty is crime. But for us, look, like, one thing, I didn't know you could play the lotto at the store.
Meaning? We
had a number man in the neighborhood. You got a dude come to your house and say, what numbers you want to play? Well, let me get 50-cent box on 411. Let me get 50-cent box on 1, 2, 3. 50. Like, we go to the store now and play the lotto. In the hood, you don't do that. It's a number man. It's somebody come by and he pay better odds, man. So 50 cent box to get you $42.50. But if you run it through the number man, it's like $47. So you go with the number man because you make an extra $5.
I get it.
You know, it's kind of like vending food stamps. It's like in the hood, it's you learn to barter. Like the bartering system is big.
Did you guys move around a lot?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. No. I mean, we moved around a lot because we got evicted a lot. So I don't think I truly lived in one neighborhood for more than like 14 months, man.
And I've asked this question 3 times already. That was just normal.
It's normal.
Were you a happy kid?
My family was there, so I was happy. You know what I mean? Like I said, you don't realize a pig don't know he in slop until you rinse him off. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It wasn't nothing to me. Like, shit, man. I live here. Like, yeah, so.
During all these moving around, did you go to the same school? Or were you just being switched schools?
So, I went my 5th and 6th grade year, I went to the same school, right?
Okay.
My 7th and 8th grade year, I went to the same school. At the 8th grade, the wheels came off. So, you know what I mean? So
what do you mean by that?
That was the day that, you know, like homeless hit us again. So it's like 5th and 6th grade, we had a place. We lived obviously we lived in a different neighborhood by now because we had already moved out of Parkside. So we moved to another bad neighborhood over there, Cornell Heights area. You know what I'm saying? This is Dayton, Ohio, right? So we kicked it over there, but homies over there is in the same, they live in the same life. Because now we in the 80s and now we got crack cocaine and we got all that's moving around. So my 5th and 6th grade was that. And I was one of the only kids this was my first entrepreneur move. When I was in the 6th grade, fat laces was a big thing. I was the kid that could ride the bus. See, other parents, would you let your 11-year-old son catch a bus downtown?
No.
Absolutely. I'm going to fuck downtown.
To get fat laces?
And I would go down to the spot called TNT Fashions, man, and buy these fat laces and come back to school and sell them to the kids. So I always had profit, so some as a write-up. So if it's, you know, $2 for a fat lace, I charge you $4. I go back and buy 12 fat laces tomorrow. Now I'm continuing my revenue to the point to where some of the staff members was like, because parents was complaining because kids was like, I need $10 to buy fat laces from Ren. So,
you know, we've had this conversation offline, and you never got into drugs or any of this. I mean, what is it everybody's in the same situation, right? Everybody. What's something of why one kid at a young age will get caught up into drugs or gangs or something bad, stealing, whatever have you, and then somebody like you doesn't? Is it what's the difference?
I'm weird, dude. I'm a weird dude, man. I am. And I've always been a weird dude. So when I see other people...
Just different than the others?
If I see you, I was always taught, if your friend jump off a bridge, you don't have to jump. My mom did that. And I sit back and I watch drugs destroy our neighborhood. Why would I try that?
Right.
I see all my friends going to jail, getting shot up. They robbing each other. How the hell you gonna rob me? I know your mama, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a real thing, and these people are doing this to each other. And I was like, well, I know I don't want to do that. Even though I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do that.
Talk to me about sports. I know that was a big part of your childhood. I mean, tell me about, you were in football, right? Tell me about that, because that later we're going to get into that led to a little stint in college where you played college football, right?
Yeah. Played a little junior college.
So how long did you play? Was that, I mean, a good activity that kept you? Would you say that's part of maybe what kept you on the straight and narrow? Sports and music.
Sports and music, two things that saved me.
What about music saved you? I get the sports part.
The entertainment of it. Like you can listen to a song and be outside of your environment. Some music makes you feel good and you just kind of get the blackout. Mentally. Yeah. You just kind of go away from where, you know what I mean? Like,
I do.
I don't want to be in the projects right now. I want to hear some Bob Marley and be on the island somewhere and talk like the island boy, man. Like, you know, whatever. Like,
yeah. So, yeah. Wow. All right. So football, you played all through high school? Yeah.
Well, no, I didn't play all through high school. Mind you, I transferred a lot. So, high school. I went to 4 high schools, man. I went to, can you imagine having to get jumped in before high school? I'm a fighting motherfucker, bro. You know what I
Came
mean?
in handy later in life.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My hand game is official. It's official. And I can take a beating.
Wow.
That's even worse, right? I don't get knocked out. That's even worse. So when somebody beat me up, they beat me all the way up.
So 4 high schools. What happened with the football then? You transfer teams? Or
So like my freshman year in high school, I was going to Colonel White High School. It was great. It was a feeder school from my middle school. So I got to go with some of my friends. But it didn't happen like that for me because like I'm in there my freshman year in high school. I also wrestled. I was really good at wrestling. You know, I'm a state contender, if you would. At this point, like even as a freshman, guys are like, yo, this dude is gonna win states. Like Ren's gonna win states. This boy is a monster on a wrestling mat. So because I like individual activities. So I'm playing football my freshman year, and our housing situation is in flux at this time. Again. So right now at this point, my mom is going through a divorce from her 6th husband. I think my 6th stepdad. Yeah, I think this was number 6. All right, one good thing about stepdads too, man. Everybody want to see how tough you are.
Challenge you.
Outlast all of them, bro. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's a whole nother chapter. But so when she was getting divorced from this dude, the money went away. So the money went away. So I knew right then what the play was. See, because now we programmed in this. We understand it now. I got a handicapped little brother. I got my sister right here. And, and I'm like, okay, bet. So when he left, the money left, and I knew it was just a matter of time. So when we got evicted from there, I went ahead and enrolled myself in this school called Patterson, which was downtown. So the one great thing about Patterson is it's not school district specific.
There's no address specific.
Correct.
To register, to go to school, to enroll.
Boom, I enrolled myself in Patterson. So I went down there middle year of school, my freshman year, and enrolled myself in a different school. And then I came and told Mom, like, hey, Mom, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I just changed schools. And she was like.
That ended up being a good move?
It was a great move, at least for that year, for that little bit. But, that led to me being at Patterson. So now I'm at school with the preppy kids. Oh. I don't fit. Remember I said I'm a weirdo. And I'm used to getting jumped in the neighborhoods. See, these kids ain't never been jumped in the shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm in school with them kids. You know, these motherfuckers get school clothes. That type of shit. So, so which was cool. So which is cool. So I'm here and I'm finding myself. I can still play football. I can still wrestle.
Were you playing football there?
I went to Patterson, played football. First game of the year, broke my leg. Not good. So now I'm on crutches. That's cool. It's whatever, And yeah, man. And then that I ended up getting asked to leave public schools after my sophomore year at Patterson, just due to my inability to conform.
A difference of opinion.
Right.
So we're gonna come back to high school, but somehow, some way, you ended up getting a scholarship.
Yes.
To college.
Yes.
On football.
Yes.
Tell me about that.
So not really scholarship.
Okay.
Right. Not really scholarship. Highly recruited.
Okay.
Highly recruited. So I ended up graduating.
Nonetheless, that's
like coming back to like high school, pre-high school, other things. So the me going to college, I went to college in Hibbing, Minnesota. Remember I told you I said I'm a nomad. So I'm good at making moves, things like that. So Coach Dale Heffron came down to Dayton, Ohio, and recruited myself plus other 2 student athletes. We went up to Hibbing, Minnesota, where, mind you this, I told you my whole life I lived in the projects, right? I'm in the hood. I'm used to being around 99.9% black people. I go up to Hibbing, Minnesota, and the only black people is the 25 kids on the football team.
Was that how, I was gonna say, was that weird? I don't know what other word to say. How was it?
No, I did not know racism until that moment.
Really?
Because I'd never been a minority before.
Wow.
I'd never been a minority, ever. Because I always lived in a black neighborhood.
So you're 18, 19 now. It's your freshman year of college.
Right, freshman year of college. I never experienced none of that stuff. Even I wrestled. So, you know, wrestling is very diverse. I never had nobody call me nigger and mean it. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, is this a real thing?
Did your fellow team members accept you?
Oh, no, our team to this day, man, we still talk. True story.
Okay.
That was 1992, and I'm still in comms with all them dudes, man. Shout out to the Hibbing Cardinals. We won state championship and everything with that team. We went 15-1, man.
Wow.
Yeah, we were amazing.
So it was other students at the university, people in town.
Yeah, you know what?
They did not accept you.
It was this. It was the older people didn't accept us. Younger people was curious. Because think about it, you're 18 years old. You never seen a black person in real life. This is something that we don't think about. Like, I'm literally impacting them as much as they are impacting me.
Wow.
Because I had never had hey, man, what do you like to do? You know what I mean? Just sat down and had white friends to where I could communicate with like that. Because where I'm at in the hood, all we know is the hood. So I really don't need to have a conversation with you because I know your daddy sell dope. That ain't really nothing for me to bring up. I mean, it's like we grew up with so much stuff. So, like, through the eviction process, right? Let's go back to that, man. The eviction process, man, which really kind of set me out to be a nomad. I won a state championship, man. I won a state championship in AAU wrestling. True story.
During all these evictions and
I had won states, and the following week, we got evicted again.
Oh.
So I was a champion Friday, and the next Friday I was homeless. So when the police come knocking on the door about 6 in the morning, we already know the protocol. We know what's popping. My mom, she went and grabbed like a pillowcase. Went to the deep freezer, put all the meat in the deep freezer, all the meat out the deep freezer into a pillowcase. And she was like, hey, I'm gonna need you to go to your aunt's house. I was 14.
To your aunt's house.
Mm-hmm. Go to your aunt's house. And I'm like, all right. I didn't ask no questions. I just watched the police drag all the shit out of my house and put it.
Did you understand why?
I went with the clothes on my back.
And a pillowcase full of meat.
Full of meat. That was my first road march.
Your first road march.
It's my first road march, man. Pillowcase full of meat, threw it over like a knapsack, man. Walked to my aunt's house. But mind you this, though, this is the fucked up scenario in it. You send me to my aunt.
And she welcomes you?
Oh, of course she welcomed me until the meat ran out. Fucking real talk. She put me out on crutches.
Did the rest of your mom and the rest of the family come, or just you?
Just me.
So your mom...
Because she wasn't going to put... Like, my little brother is handicapped. My aunt didn't want to deal with that.
So what'd your mom do with your brother?
My mom took my little brother and moved into my grandma's 800 square foot, 1-bedroom apartment in the Oregon district. So now I'm 14 years old. I'm living with my aunt. I know what it's like not to drink the last of the juice in the refrigerator. That shit'll get you put out.
Oh.
She put me out. I broke the cord. So back in the day, you know, you only had one phone in the crib, in the kitchen. That's it. And I'm on crutches, and my crutches catch the cord. And I yanked the cord out the wall. She put me out. So she said, baby, I don't know where your mama got planned or what it is with you, but I'm going to need you to go ahead and get your stuff together and leave my house.
You had to fend for yourself
14,
from a very young age.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Yeah, I was 14, man.
Do you think that made you stronger?
It made me numb.
Elaborate.
Like, I have a phenomenally high emotional metabolism.
Huh.
I don't dwell on nothing. Anything I have, I don't cherish anything. I don't, because I know, because I've had everything taken from me so many times.
I hear that.
That now I just know not to. I know better than to love this. So
I asked this again, mainly because I just don't get it. Did you? Well, two things. You were still happy through all these years. I mean, you were just a happy kid. I mean,
I had friends. Yeah,
did you understand that you had it rough, or was it normal?
It's normal.
It was normal.
It's normal because you got to think. So when you homeless a lot, you realize. So think about this. Think about being an entertainer, right? and you hot, you run in the same circle.
Hmm.
When you homeless, you run in the same circle.
So we're just running in the same circles.
So we couch surfing all over. It's just a little, it's like a little group of teenagers, man, and we all, like my brothers are not my biological brothers, but we was all homeless together.
I get it.
So, you know what I mean? Whenever one of us got a meal, boom, we all ate together. Hey, man, I gotta,
Did you have a desire to succeed back then?
Oh, I knew I was gonna be rich then. I knew I was gonna be rich. I mean, I'm not rich yet, but I'm gonna be rich. Like, there is nothing in me that doesn't constitute the wealth of life. You know what I mean? Because, like, man, I have so much right now, brother. It's amazing. And people want to run after dollars, and I'm like, that ain't really what I'm about.
Lay low.
Live a life of wealth, man.
Live a life of wealth.
Right. Because, like I said, growing up, so, 14, homeless. I remember hearing the story about a guy, right? He had to steal some Pampers. Fucking true story, right?
Facts.
How about this? We used to go in the grocery store and we rip open a pack of bread right quick and grab some bologna. And by the time we was walking through the aisle, we'd crush 2 sandwiches right quick and walk out the store. So we stole food.
That was normal. That was normal.
We stole food, man. That's how we got down.
We're leading up to a big part of this story that I want to tell, because you've told me this story before. We've had a lot of time to chat the past few months, and it's been great to get to know you, and I mean that. Appreciate it.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
After college, what happened? Or during college, I should say.
All righty. So what didn't happen? First off, shout out to Hibbing, Minnesota, man. I just think that we collided too soon. I just think our timing was
You weren't
off
ready in life for college.
Right. Nobody was ready for us at that college either. So I think we couldn't blame the townsfolk of Hibbing, Minnesota for what just showed up on their front porch. Because mind you, this the kids that went there, we wasn't exactly from the burbs. So all the kids that went to college with me, I went to college with straight up gangbangers. These dudes is like, I'm like, Cabrini Greens, cats from Flint, Michigan, folks, vice lords living on the same hallway. We bought that element to Hibbing, Minnesota.
Yeah, that's
I'm the Iron
clash.
Range. Right. I don't know nothing about folks, vice lords. So we up there in Minnesota. So when I went to college, my mom, shout out to my dude, she signed me up for welfare, man.
While you're in college?
While I was in college.
Unbeknownst to you?
No idea. I had no idea.
She signed you up for welfare?
Yep. I'm 18 years old, but she's still my guardian, and I'm in college.
Okay.
So there's a program, that she found out about, signed me up for college, and I was like, all right, sign me up for welfare while I was in school. So mom would send me $100 in cash, $60 in food stamps. So I had food stamps in college. I was a big deal. So I just thought it was mom boosting it from the neighborhood because, 2 for 1 in the hood. So, like, if you got $50 cash, get you $100 in food stamps. This is before they went to the little EBT card thing, whatever they do now.
Yeah. What brought you back to Dayton?
I failed. I flunked out of college.
You flunked out. Too much sports, too much...
No, I did too much football.
Partying.
Yeah, too much football, too much party, not enough school.
Yeah.
And then, like, we went off to a bowl game, and we came back, man, and our dorms was trashed, man. Yeah, our dorms was trashed, man. Windows was all busted out, our fire extinguishers. And then shortly after that, man, a couple gentlemen that got detained on the alleged rape charge. So that was another thing that was a big issue because when you in that environment and the curiosity of teenagers, they're gonna have sex. Teenagers are gonna have sex. That's what you're. So the girls and guys, in college have sex. We're having sex a lot. You know what I mean? And one morning, it was funny. It's like, I know how the police knock. A police knock is different. One morning, me and my roommate, we sleep. Boom, 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 boom. We like, what the fuck is going on? So we go to the door, and everybody in the hallway is laid out in their underwear, and we don't know what's going on.
And health and welfare.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on. The whole floor laid out. And they was like, yo, man, these 2 guys, man, raped this girl last night. And
these 2 guys meaning?
2 football players raped.
But they didn't know who.
Correct. Well, they didn't say who. But as soon as we realized it was 2 people off our hallway not there, we knew who. But this was even crazier. This same girl probably had engaged in conversation with several members of said football team. But when her dad found out, she was raped.
I get it.
Right? Unique situation.
Yeah.
Easy ditch. We go away. They trash our dorms because, like, this happened before. You know what I mean? So now our dorms is trashed. We're transferring out. Guys are going to, like, Wisconsin. And, you know, we're in that Wisconsin Superior, Duluth, Minnesota area, you know, the Four Winds. Cats went back everywhere. And I went back to Dayton, Ohio, where I found out that my mom had signed me up for welfare. Changed my life, man.
What also changed your life was a welfare building.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Tell me that story. Because that leads in. We in a very short amount of time, we covered episodes 1 through 5. But you know what? We got to recap because this is going to be a whole new chapter, and we'll circle back around. But that's what I mean, man. And I still want to know why. I mean, you had every opportunity to make a bad decision growing up. You could have got involved in drugs. You could have got involved in gangbanging. You had a rough life from homelessness to eviction constantly, and you did not go down that path. Because if you did, you wouldn't be here today.
100%. Right, 100%.
Hindsight to who the hell knows, but I'm guessing.
But being honest, like, just the steps, it's not that I was calculated. Blessed.
Were you close to your mom growing up?
Oh, yeah, no doubt, man. You know what I mean? Because that's all I had. You got to think, like, you know what I'm saying, when you're on your 6th stepdad, 7th stepdad type thing, that mean that your dad wasn't there, right?
Right.
So, yeah, mom was the only constant, but she couldn't hold it together, you know what I mean? Just financially, we just I don't know what it was.
At some point in time, you enlisted into my great country's army.
Amen to that. Amen to that.
And what's that story?
So I'm sitting, so this is the thing. I come back from college. I'm on the couch sitting there talking with mom, and mom was like, hey, I'm going to need you to go downtown to the welfare building and get an ID card. I was like, why do I need an ID card? It was from the welfare. She was like, well, baby, that money I was sending you and food stamps, I signed you up from welfare. I'm like, okay, all right, shit, I'm on welfare. All righty. I go downtown to the welfare office, man. I had $3 in my pocket. I go down to the welfare office, I'm sitting down there, and I'm looking at all these able-bodied men in the room. I'm looking at all these dudes. I was like, man, this dude don't look sick. This dude don't look tired. This dude look like he should be working somewhere. And so I was like number 80-something or whatever, and they was on like number 40 for calls, and I'm sitting for an hour, and they on like 50. I'm like, oh, shit, this going to be all day. You know what I mean? Like, man, I heard the horror stories.
Yeah.
And I'm living it now. So I stepped out. I stepped out the welfare office, and I had $3, and I wanted a chili dog. I wanted a chili dog. Chili dogs is real big in Ohio, Dayton, Ohio. Gold Star, the little mini buddies, Gold Star chili. So I'm gonna go to Gold Star because they 99 cents, and then I looked across the street and I saw the Army recruiter station. So, do I want a chili dog or do I want to join the Army? And I walked in the recruiter and I said, I want to be an airborne ranger. And he was like, do you even know what an airborne ranger is? I said, nah, but my cousin told me they was hard as a motherfucker, and that's what I want.
And he somehow made it happen.
Yeah, and he made it happen. Actually, and he took care of me. Wow. Unbeknownst to me, the MOS that he gave me, because I was not 11 Bravo.
Right.
I was not infantry.
Right.
Joining. He was like, hey, I got an infantry contract that I can get you in 11 months.
But he advised you against that?
Well, no. I changed that. He said, I have an infantry contract. I can get you in.
Okay.
But it's 11 months from now.
Oh.
I got this other contract that's 5 months from now.
Got it.
As at the time it's called 76 Yankee, which is a unit supply specialist. And I was like, so I'm going to pass shit out, man. I can pass stuff out. He was like, no, well, not just that. And he showed me the arms room, showed me the weapons. I've been seeing guns and drugs my whole life. I always liked guns. I just didn't deal with drugs, but I always had a thing for guns. Wow. So I'm thinking to myself, like, hell yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to be the armor, and I'm going to be this bad Green Beret, bad airborne ranger and make it happen. So, yeah, man, and I still carry that mindset with me to this day. I don't, like, if I'm going to do it, I have to do it right now.
Huh.
Whatever it is. Whatever it is.
A little impulsive, maybe?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because, hey, man, if we're doing this, yes. then that's it. Everybody start moving. Hey man, put your oar in the water. You know, get your butt. You know, get your whatever it is that we're doing.
So you shipped out to the Army.
Shipped out to the Army. Went to Sweet Fort Jackson, basic training. So like the crazy part about it though was like joining the Army. I'm like basic training, AIT, Airborne School, and RIP, Ranger Indoctrination Program. So my first
a lot of training off the bat.
My first 6.5, 7 months in the Army, you know what I was accustomed to? Walking in the room and people yelling at me. So I didn't have to talk. You know, I mean, because you can't, like, yeah, I can internalize anything. So I just listen. So people yelling, I just do what you said, do. That's So I'm cool like that. I'm robotic, but all I know is I can't go back to the hood.
You can't fail out of anything.
Fuck
you can't
no.
rock out. You have to make it.
I cannot go back to the hood. I got arrested twice.
Where? What do you mean?
Walking through my neighborhood.
Oh.
Cutting through my neighborhood. And I was like,
you know, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I'm glad you say that. I can't go back to the hood. You're out now, and you realize what did you realize? That I can go forward. There's a life after this. There's a life outside of the hood.
I knew that if the Army didn't work, man, I was gonna go back to being. I mean, I was really like my only plan was to make the Army work. But had it not worked, bro, I know we wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah,
I know we wouldn't be sitting here because I would have went back and I would have just picked the whole block up. Like,
so
you know,
I'm gonna fast forward your life a little bit because we can talk about a lot of stories. I want to hear some of them. No, I want to hear some of them. But not only did you make the Army work, you ultimately made it to a top tier 1 unit with the Green Berets.
Yes,
that's a big deal.
Yes.
What made you want to put in your packet and go be a Green Beret?
So when I was in 160th, so I went from Ranger Battalion to 160th. And when I was in 160th, a guy named Raphael Berets, rest in peace to my man Ralph, he told me, he said, hey, Ren, you know what, man? You know, as far as logistics go, you're good, but I think you'd be a better SF dude because he had worked with some SF guys in Korea. I wasn't really familiar.
Was that an attitude thing about you that he saw in you?
Yeah, because he was like, this ain't you. He was like, you know what? You are not a clerk. You're in here bouncing off the walls. Like, you know, I made this statement yesterday. I was like, I'm a cat lady and a dog whisperer in the same head. Like, you know what I mean? Like, your crazy does not want to see my crazy. Like, yeah, my crazy don't stop. So like,
you know, I'm kind of putting 2 and 2 together as I listen to you. Was the Green Berets then an outlet for you to maybe move into more of who you were, maybe? Or a shout? I don't know. Were you able to express yourself in a different way?
Yeah, I can say that, like, being a Green Beret, because I like helping people. Somewhere along the line, I picked up this whole 4-letter word called care that I can't kill. You know what I mean? So, and Green Berets, like, you know, holistically, that's what we are, man. Train, advise, and assist. Like, you know, we actually train dudes to take care of their own country, and sometimes we help them out.
Talk to me about the multiple deployments, your wife, the family. How did you juggle both and compartmentalization?
Oh, wow.
That's not easy.
I told her, I said, you can leave if you can leave. That was a scary joke, bro.
You told your wife that?
That's one of our running jokes, man. That's our scary joke.
I thought you were serious, man. You had me on the edge of my seat. You had me on the edge of my seat. I thought you were serious.
Hey, no, man. Bro, hell no, man. My wife crazy as hell, man. My wife would kill me. Oh, she don't even hear that. She's not listening to this podcast now.
That joke's on me now, man. That whole joke's on me now. All right.
No, man. No, actually, man, hey, shout out to the Queen Bee, man. Angel, she, with the deployments and all that, because she's such an independent person. Like, I married somebody who did not need me to make her complete. You feel me? Like,
she knew who she was as a person.
She is still, to this day, she's still 100% secure in her. She does not require me for nothing other than, like, hey, change that light bulb and here's the bills. Shit. And she pays a lot of bills too, though. Like, we live in the household where she pull her weight. Mama go to work every day, man. Shout out to the wife, man. For real. But yeah, no, that's with all the deployments, She knew that, like, before we got married, she knew that I wanted to be a Green Beret. And she was like,
And you
so
conceptually
go do that.
knew what that life was.
I didn't have no choice again, bro. So this is where I'm at in my life, at the point to where I went special forces. I'm 6 years in the Army, and I'm starting to hate it. We got more money than anybody in the military, and I'm hating just I don't know.
I get it.
A little too bougie. It was a little
I
too
get
pretty
it.
for me.
I get it.
I'm a rugged guy. I'm
I
okay
get
with
it,
getting
yeah.
dirty, you know.
That's why I said earlier, did the Green Berets help you kind of come into a little bit of who
brought
you
my
were?
football guy back out in me.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Kind of got me back to, locking horns and.
So how did you deal with all the deployments? I mean, you were in a rough battle in Solder City.
Yes.
Rough.
Yeah.
That was a rough.
Right? That was crazy, right? We took the whole house. We took every Green Beret, every operator we had to go in there. And, we went in probably 10, 15 trucks deep of just warfighter. And, man, and it was like, my mission, there was some items set up, like giant circus tents set up in this courtyard. We could not identify what was inside the inside the tents. So me as a team leader, they were like, hey, Ren, maybe you and one other guy just kind of go out there. Because we got to identify, it may be 100 people inside this tent. Oof. So we pull up as clandestine as you can imagine, with 20 trucks, if you will. Right, you know what I mean? We're sneaking up on nobody. We pull up, and myself and another guy, man, we hop out the truck, and I'm walking out to this field, and I look at this giant circus tent. It's bigger in person than it was on camera. And I'm literally like inching out there. Because I know tactically, this is fucking bad. This is bad. You never walk in the open tactically. And needless to say, man, they lit the night up, man. It literally, I felt like I was an actor looking at a paparazzi with all the gunfire that was going off.
So how did you mentally handle that? Because a lot of guys don't.
Unfortunately, so the gunfighter, right? Like that's kind of our thing. Like, you know what I mean? That's kind of term that we apply to each other, especially because at the time I was in the CIF, the Commanders and Extremist Force, or now it's called the CRIF, Commander.
They got rid of that about a year. Didn't they get rid of the CIFs?
I think
I got read an article.
So yeah, I'm in 7th group. I'm a 7th group guy. It's 0506. We show up to Iraq. We're used to Colombia, Afghanistan. Like, those are our 2 AORs for the obvious reason, the war on drugs and the war on terror. So 7th group, they were like, hey, man, we're going to Iraq. So we're like, wow, you know what? That's out of our area. We have 0, like, linguist support, so so many attachments showed up and things like that. So we went to Iraq, and the firefight in Solder City, man, it changed every man that was there. I just started shooting back.
You identify where all the fire was coming from?
It was so much, I couldn't. I literally was engaging every aspect from ground to ceiling, and now the entire stack is pinned down behind some vehicles on the main street. And they're yelling like, we gotta get out of here. And everybody's yelling, and I hear my name. I hear my name, man. I'm out here changing magazines, bro. I am still in the middle of a field. You know what? With my middle finger up. You know what I mean? Hey, man, I'm about that life too, man. You want to shoot at me, I'm going to shoot back. Period. And so I'm out there. And at this moment, while this is happening to me, it's not. Because I didn't realize the significance of what I was actually in. Ren! Turn around, look over my shoulder, and I realize I am the only dude standing out here by himself. Wow. And I am laying down, bro, I am engaging multiple targets. And how about this? We enjoyed it so much, in one deployment, we went to Solder City 3 times. We went 3 times.
Do you feel some of the guys get addicted to the adrenaline?
No. It's not so much the adrenaline of gunfighting that gets guys addicted to it. Because ultimately, you just stop caring. Like, it really don't matter.
Get numb.
You numb. You know, like I said, like being homeless, you just go numb. It's like, does this matter? Not really. All you got to do is not die.
Because when they yelled my name, I turned around and I looked. Who called me? Because I'm coming to you. Like, Dave, I'm coming to you. That means you're the only person not shooting right now. And it was my sniper buddy, Greg Henkel. And Greg, man, shout out to my man Greg Henkel, amazing human being, bro. And Greg was like, Rennie. I came running back to Greg, and I knew, like, we got to get off the street. So I just grabbed one of the Iraqi troops, man, and was like, breach the store. He was like, "It's target?" I'm like, "Fuck no, it's not the target. But if we stay out here, we're dead. We're dead. We're going to die out here behind some old beat up ass car that's getting shot up, because there's all that's happening. The windows are exploding. The car tink tink tink. All that's happening. Yeah, you know that's because they're close, man. And I'm like, we gotta get off the street, man. So I ended up having one of the guys, man, came up and we shotgunned the door. We pushed in that first house, and that opened up the flow, so guys were able to kind of like, you know, get moving. Because had we stayed there, I mean, how many of us was gonna go down? Right now, and wow. We push in, we get to a rooftop. We're at a rooftop, we're on the radio, and it's hard to communicate because all you hear is everybody yelling and shooting. Everybody is yelling.
Can you accurately identify the enemy?
Several, yes, and especially with our sniper teams and our above sync, we did a lot more work via sniper. Man, our snipers, man, shout out to our snipers, man. They saved our ass that night. There were a few channels that guys were sped up, and you could tell the speed because when they chimed in, you heard boom, 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 boom. Hey, I got 5 over here, you know. And then some guys you'll hear, Roger that, I copy 5, building number, blah. I'm bringing 5 to you. So you know who was engaged and who was not. So that way you can kind of look at your playbook of the scenario, because we're engaged on a 4 to 6 block radius. We're not just fighting on one street. We're fighting the neighborhood of Solder City.
So how did you adjust then to going home deployments?
I remember being in a gunfight, and then 8 days later I was Santa Claus.
At home. Kids sitting on your lap.
Yeah. Playing with the boy, man. You know what I mean?
We're good at that though. We're good at that, turning it off and turning it back on, turning it off, turning it back off.
Yeah, I mean we're special operators, so it's like, hey man, you know, don't cry me a river, Justin Timberlake. Don't nobody want to hear your sob story about how you can't hold it together, man. You need to ruck up, homeboy.
So what was your transition like out of the Army?
Out of the Army, alcohol. Yeah. I didn't decide to have a drink. I decided to get drunk, because you got to remember, whatever.
To have a drink, I decided to get drunk.
Right. Because remember, whatever I do, I commit.
Yeah.
So I spent about 5 months, man, getting as drunk as possible.
Wow.
I got some endurance, bro. I got some chops.
I've seen a little bit.
Yeah, and my wife was like, you know, she just came in one day and she was like, we had the talk. She was like, I love you, and you're my champion. And I was like, all right, mama. I said, this is the play. She said, what's the play? I said, I'm going back to Afghanistan, and I'm gonna rock this contract gig for about 5 months. And she said, that's why you've been drinking so much? I'm like, yeah. Because I knew that this was about to be over. I was just enjoying being retired for 4 or 5 months. And I signed on for a job in October 2012.
For a contract position.
And I was contracting back and forth to Afghanistan up to 2017.
So 20 years in the Army, and then another 5 years of deployments on the contracting side of the house.
Correct. Yeah, going back. Like, I'm back over, you know, we 6-monther, 9-monther. How about this? I got a tragic fucking story.
Send it.
I was in a gunfight the day my mom died.
Oh.
How about that?
As a contractor.
Yeah, as a fucking contractor.
Jeez.
I get a call from my wife, and she was like, are you okay? And I'm like this. We're in the ready room loading magazines. The dudes are out there already putting in work. I'm a contractor, so I'm more snuffy, right? What can I do to help? You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go out there and jump in with your ODA and get out here and chase bad guys down. How can I help you be where you at? Meanwhile, rockets, RPGs, we are taking so much gunfire in our perimeter. There are Taliban members running through. This was in Ghazni. There are members of the Taliban running through our base, literally shooting at U.S. soldiers. Yeah.
And you got a call from your wife.
My phone rang. I said, hello. She said, babe. I said, hey, what's up, mama? She said, your mom just passed. I said, okay. I'll call you later. She was like, all right. You okay? I said, I'm fine.
Then you got back in the fight.
You fucking got to get back in the fight. I do not have fucking time to do
you got to get back in the fight.
This is a thing.
You mentally turn it off. You mentally got back in
the
fight.
That was unique.
Shit. That is unique.
Yeah, I get on the airplane, fly back home to Dayton, Ohio, had my mom cremated. You know what I mean? You know, I had to do that. And 9 days later, I was back at Ghazni. Let's get back to work, man.
You had visions in Afghanistan. You had dreams. You had thoughts. What does this mean? The first time I ever saw you in a picture, actually, you had a hat that said this on it. Well, what does this mean to you? 22
pounds. So in 14, 15, 16. So about 2016, 2017 time frame, I'm sitting in Afghanistan again, as usual, and like the contracts is doing cuts and all that. So it's like, okay, I'm kind of on the fence. Do I want to volunteer to be cut? Do I want to get cut? Luckily, I end up getting cut. They're like, hey, we got to cut 15 guys.
Your decision was made for you.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, okay, hey, we got to cut 15 guys. When we're going to cut you? Wow. I called my wife and I said, Mama, did we hit our number? Because it was another contracting country that I could have just picked up and kept going. And she was like, we hit our number. So 22 pounds is $1 million in $100 bills. 22 pounds is how much? $1 million in $100.
And that was your number.
That was my number, because when I was a kid, I said, man, if I made $1 million, I'd be the richest man in the world.
Wow.
I'd never be homeless again.
Wow.
I'd never have to worry about a thing in my life.
So you did it through contracting.
So I did it through contracting.
Damn.
Because the Army is not going to pay you $1 million.
No, it's not.
Ever. You
made it through contracting.
And I made it through contracting.
Damn.
And, yeah, so.
What? Wow. What are you up to now? What's your life like? What are your goals? What keeps you motivated these days?
Writing. I got a passion for a pen. You know, my
Did you always have that?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I used to write poems. I was a rapper for about 10 minutes. Made like one rap song and knew it forever. Like, you know what I mean? It was good. So,
what do you write now?
Now, like, I'm working on a screenplay. And I reached out to my cousin Jackie, who also is a screenplay writer, and so we kind of working on development of this screenplay, which I want to get out there. And I have a lot, like where I live at now. So this was my plan in Afghanistan. When I said, Mama, we hit our number, the 22 pounds hack came into play. My neighborhood where I live at now, it's a lot of Marvel guys, a lot of actors,
studio nearby your house.
Right. I live like 10 minutes from Pinewood Studios.
Okay.
So a lot of my neighbors are, and I talk to them about screenplays and writing and stuff like that. So one friend led to another friend, and before you know it, I'm sitting down with guys like Michael Grillo, who is executive producer for Marvel. Also, I'm really good friends with another guy, Nick Childs. Nick Childs actually helped me pen 2 of my books, because I also have 3 books.
Wow.
But not published, so I can't say I am a published author.
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, it's happening. It's just, you know what? I want the right publishing deal.
Sure.
You know, I want to publish with somebody. See, because I don't want to, I'm not so focused on making the money as much as I am the relationship.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm such a great writer, and I know that I could do this with my eyes closed. You know, I'm the king of one-liners.
I know. Yes,
I'm the king of one-liners, man.
Wow.
Me and some of the guys that I've been working with now, man, that I'm kind of on the team with, they'll hit me up for that. Like, hey, Ren, you know what? Give us a one-liner. And I told them, I said, hey, man, all right, here's one. You ready? And they was like, all right, what you got? And I was like, there is no there's no counterfeit to this genius. I told him that. I said, there's no counterfeit to this genius. I'm like, you know what? I know I'm
a fake genius.
Yeah. And you can't change that. Like, you can't change what I write because what I feel, what I wrote is genius.
Wow.
You can't counterfeit.
That's amazing.
It's like having a talent, man. Is any
Wow.
artist in the world will tell you that. Like, it's not. So that's why I know I'm a good writer, because if I wasn't, I wouldn't do it. Right? Remember I said I don't. I try not to segue into miscellaneous stuff. Like,
does this take practice? Have you worked hard at this?
No.
It just comes. It's
comes.
an innate kind of talent.
My wording is wonderful. My wording is wonderful.
I can't wait to read it.
Yeah. It is. Look, kid from Dayton. Kid from Dayton. So this right here is what I'm giving a piece of. This is the first book that I want to launch, The Kid from Dayton.
The Kid from Dayton.
To just kind of show the drive and kind of, I want to inspire little me to be even better than big me.
In conclusion here, and that's amazing, you're going to inspire a lot of kids, actually. You're going to inspire a lot of little yous to be great. What advice would you give your 25-year-old self?
Stay the course. It's going to work. Believe in yourself. When you brush your teeth, look at yourself. I look in the mirror every morning when I brush my teeth. Most people look into the sink where they spitting.
Well, we had this conversation. There's an inner dialogue there.
I look straight at myself, man. You have to. Who am I going to be today? Right? Because you have to be secure in yourself. So I want to tell 25-year-old me, hey, man, I understand right now your life may seem like a catastrophe because you're trying to become a Green Beret, which is, I don't know. It didn't dawn on me that it's only 1% of the damn army that makes it. Right? That was never the thing. I said, hey, man, I want to be a Green Beret, and that's just what I did. So I would tell myself, because I became a Green Beret at 25.
Love it.
So
love it.
That's what I would tell me.
The Kid from Dayton. Ren, man, thank you so much.
Dave, thanks a lot, bro. Hey, man, I look forward to...
We're going to work together. I guarantee
absolutely.
it. I guarantee it.
Or I'll stalk you. Either way.
I already have a few stalkers. Let's work together. Oh, man.
I'd rather work
love it.
as well.
Woo. Thank you, man.
Thank you.